Well, welcome to Tim's Old School Perspectives, and today we got a story about riots. So Antifa continues to riot. So I guess the DHS was pretty wise to put out a domestic terrorism alert. However, they put it out for the wrong reasons. They put it out because of those scary Republicans rampaging through the streets. But wait, it's not scary Republicans at all this time. Once again in Portland, it's Antifa. Nearly 60 people assaulted the federal ICE building. Let's take a look.
Federal Protective Service. Don't interfere! Get on the ground! Back up! Get on the ground! Back!
Just filming him, just filming. Just filming.
Back up! That way!
Just filming.
Back up!
Okay, so several dozen thugs tried to set fire to the ICE building by having a fiery dumpster that they was going to roll into the building, and this seems like a pretty serious threat. Now, in the film, we can see that a lot of federal police came out and they thwarted this effort, which raises a lot of questions for me. Where was the federal police during the Capitol riots? It's almost as if they let this thing happen. This show of force here in Portland over the ICE building was far more formidable than anything that federal police managed to put up in the Capitol, and it makes you wonder, why is that? Did they have a reason for that? Was there an agenda? Did they actually want people to roam around in the Capitol building? It makes me kind of curious because there sure wasn't much of a show of force there. So in spite of considerable violence, no media showed up here in Portland. And this happens all the time, so I guess it's not even news anymore for Antifa to riot in Portland and Tacoma and Seattle, and really in a lot of major cities. So the media doesn't even bother showing up anymore. They don't bother talking about it. But this is where your violence is, and this is where your domestic terrorism is. Trying to set a federal building on fire sounds like pretty serious business to me. So nearly 60 Antifa terrorists, they burned flags, they threw projectiles, they threw mortars at federal police, a lot of things. So you would think there'd be quite a lot of arrests and things happening here, but no, they arrested one person. And guess what? That person walked. They're already out roaming the streets as they were just released. And so setting fire to federal buildings in Portland doesn't seem to be much of a problem. But we're putting out this huge manhunt where it comes to these people at the Capitol. Wonder why it is. It seems like that, depends on which side of this fight that you're on. If you're on the left, burn all the buildings you want. If you're on the right, if you even so much as show up at the Capitol, which Brandon Straka, he's in all sorts of trouble. I don't think he even went into the Capitol. He was just there watching it. And the FBI threw his butt in jail, and he stayed there for days, and he's facing all sorts of serious charges. But this thug out in Portland, he's not going to face anything. He's just going to go out and riot the next night. So happily, the federal police in Portland did thwart the arson attempt on the federal ICE building, and that's a good thing. And once again, Antifa was put down because they know they're coming every night. But at the Capitol, they knew they was coming too. And so this really does bother me a lot. It really raises a lot of questions in my mind and should raise questions in other people's mind of where was this show of force in the Capitol? It should have been there, but it wasn't. So that sums up the problems out in Portland for the other night. One person arrested, one person released. And so I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you in a while.